Hello everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this one is combining a cutout page with another page behind it. So I came across this really interesting word. It's a Swedish word, fika, and it means a moment to slow down and appreciate the good things in life. And apparently it's something that is part of Swedish culture, and I am not an expert on that at all. So if there's anybody that is Swedish that is watching, feel free to comment and share with us what it is, actually what it's really about. But it just, to me, just sounds such a lovely concept. So I wanted to do something to do with this word. I wanted to do a journal page with it, and I thought, well, I could use the letters for my cutout page. So that's what I'm doing. On this first page, I've written the letters fika quite big so that they fill the space on this first page, and I'm just cutting out the spaces in between those letters using my craft knife from Model Craft, and with the little cutting mat underneath. And then this gives a really clear idea of what this page is about. And when I came across this word, I was just like, oh, not only is it a really pleasing word to say, it's the concept behind it is so lovely. And I think certainly in the UK, I can't speak for anywhere else, but life just gets so busy. It's so busy, and we're all so stressed, and we're rushing around. And actually, isn't it so important to take time to slow down and appreciate the good things in your life, and have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, making time for friends? It is so important, friends and family. So yeah, that is kind of how this page came into existence, really, just from finding this really great word that I loved the sound of and the whole concept behind. So I've cut it out, and then I am painting the front and the back of it. No, I'm painting the back of it black and the border on the front black as well, eventually. So first of all, I'm adding some collage tissue paper onto those letters just to give another layer of interest once the colour is on there first. So this is some of Dina's printed text collage tissue paper, and I'm just pulling bits off to just stick them onto the letters that I've created in my journal. Like, I'm not really being mega precise with the size or the shape, so if they overlap a little bit, really doesn't matter. You can see I'm just kind of roughly tearing them and sticking them in place, not measuring anything at all, just roughly. Yeah, so just enjoying the freedom of just sticking these bits down and not worrying about whether they're precisely right or not, which for me is quite freeing, because often when I do create, I do like things to be just right. It's a real effort for me to not be too perfect. So in what I'm doing, not that I am perfect, obviously, but not to make it, to have those expectations of it being perfect, it's quite difficult. So this is quite nice to be able to do something like that. So I'm using matte medium to stick these in place. Oh, and then my camera stopped recording, so I'm sorry about that. I've used turquoise, and then I've used eggplant. I think I might have mixed eggplant with a bit of turquoise, and I've also used fuchsia for those letters, just to create that kind of ombre effect with those letters too. Then once it's dry, I'm going round the letters using a black pen. This is a Uniball Air Micro. Lovely pens to write with, and they are waterproof once they are dry. I'm pretty sure they are. So then once that's dry, I'm then going in with my Posca pen in white and just adding some dots onto those letters. It's just a bit of a fun way to decorate them. You know, I love dots. So this was just a quick way to get a bit of pattern on there too. Okay, so then I'm going to start working on the page behind. So again, I'm using the same collage paper that I did on the letters. I'm just adding some pieces of that onto my background, using some matte medium, Oh, you can see just dragging that tissue paper around, so I was being a little bit too quick there. Yeah, so just this is a great way to break the blank page up, just to add some collage onto there before you start adding any colour. So then I'm going to be using similar colours on the background, starting off with turquoise, trying really hard not to cover all of the lovely craft background. Then I'm going in with the eggplant and going through this stencil, which is called Lattice. I love how the eggplant and the turquoise work together. They're really lovely colours. And then this is a stencil from Dina called Marks, and again I'm just going in and I've mixed some of the turquoise and the eggplant and a little bit of white and made a really pretty lilac-y colour, and I'm just adding lots of marks onto my page using this stencil. Okay, so this stamp set is called Better Together, and it's one of Dina's, and I'm just stamping that onto some white printer paper. It acts as a really lovely contrast against all the dark colours of my background, and I'm sticking that in place using a glue stick. And then I had some bits of paper hanging around, and I just thought I was going to stamp some circles on, and then I thought I'm just going to cut some out. So I cut some circles out of my printer paper and then just cut a thin piece out down around the edge of the circle to create those sort of circular shapes. This washi tape that I'm cutting up is also one of Dina's, and you can see I'm just adding lots of little washi hearts in and amongst these little faces. So there's smaller ones on there already that I haven't filmed putting on there. Oh, there we go, there's one. And then I'm just going in with these slightly larger ones, and this, like I say, is a set of washi by Dina that I have had quite a while and is one of my favourites. I'll be really sad when it's all gone because I love them. So once I'm sticking those in place, I'm using these because really it kind of goes with the whole thing about what the word fika means, about, you know, spending time with people you love and care about, taking time for them. And then, of course, I've got to do my signature dots on my page. I'm just using quite a large Posca pen to do those. It's just nice and quick. And again, it just helps to build that contrast on your page too, as well as helping to blend some of your elements onto your page as well. Then I'm just outlining those circles using a black pen. Having a think. And then I am going in and adding my writing. Now, I'm afraid this isn't showing up very well on camera. I think the light must just be catching the wet ink, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I have kind of drawn some rough lines where my writing's going to go, just so that I can make sure it all fits into place. And then I am adding in my quote, which says, "Nothing valuable can be lost by taking time." So true. Time is such a valuable commodity these days, and it's something we all seem to have so little of, sadly. Okay, and there we go. So here's a little video showing how this page works. I've added in a little tag with the definition of the word fika on there, written on both sides. There we go. Written on the front and the back, and I just punched a little hole into my border, as you can see, and threaded that through. And then there's the page at the back. So loving how those white elements add a lovely contrast onto the page. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this fun cutout page using a really great word that I came across. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I really hope to see you again soon.